Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. My name is Caitlin and welcome to Caitlin's Castle. If you haven't been here before and this is your first time watching, I just got back from my Disney College program spring 2020 and it was canceled because of the coronavirus. So I am here talking about my different locations. I worked in merchandise and I got to work at a lot of different locations. I wanted to talk about a lot of them. My home location at my favorite park. I do have a favorite location that I love picking up shifts at, so I want to talk about all that. I also want to talk about costumes because I did go through a lot of costumes working there, which was my favorite part. I want to get into it right away because there's so much to talk about. So we're going to hop right into it. If you haven't seen my video, I'll link it up here. This is me telling where my home location is, which was Epcot Park Arrival. Now, going into it, I wasn't sure what Epcot Park Arrival was or any Park Arrival, but it's kind of in the name. It's Park Arrival. So when you come in, these are kind of like the first stores you see. This is our training costume. I'm not sure if every location has a training costume, but this is ours. It is a blue shirt with khakis. And then for the regular costume, it was the Epcot shirt and the gray pants. So I'm talking about the first store kind of we worked in, which was strollers. And it's pretty self-explanatory. We rented out strollers to people. We also rented out ECVs. Most of my shifts were night shifts. So that meant that we needed to really clean up the strollers and everything. And we would go into the parking lots and get all the wheelchairs and bring them back. So another part of our location was Gateway Gifts and Pin Traders. So if you're looking at Spaceship Earth, there was one store to the left and one store to the right. So on the left was Gateway, and that was kind of like your park entrance store because that was the first store you kind of had in Epcot when you walk in. Basically in there, it was some clothing, mugs, ears, you know, all of that stuff. And then in Pin Traders, it was pins. So that really was I think was the main pin place in Epcot, which was really cool. Like it was like the walls were just covered in pins in the back. It was so cool. It definitely was my favorite store. Especially when Flower and Garden started, we released all the pins. I believe pins are released every Thursday there, so it was really, really fun. And it was really cool to see all the new pins. Like there's so many pins and people are literally obsessed with pins. A fun thing we do at Pin Traders and strollers is we have a pin card at strollers and a pin board at Pin Traders that is so popular. And people come and pin trade. You will literally have not like a shift, but like an assignment to stand with the board or to stand out with the cart and pin trade. It was so enforced just to talk to people. So moving on, another part of Epcot Park Arrival was carts. So we would have refreshment carts and a little bit of glow carts. Glow, I feel like Glow wasn't that big in Epcot compared to Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, which I'm going to get into right now. Another one of my top favorite shifts I picked up was Fantasmic Glow. In the name it says Fantasmic Glow, but so when I first picked it up, I thought I was definitely going to be at the Fantasmic show. That is not the case. Fantasmic Glow, you get different spots in Hollywood Studios to do glow, which was my absolute favorite thing to do. Like, I love this shift. Every chance I got, I picked the shift up. I worked there about, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 times. Not every time was I at Glow selling hats and stuffed animals. So for Glow, they put you out with a cart. You mainly have bubbles. So you have your Mickey bubble blower, your Ariel bubble blower, your swords, your Buzz bubble blowers. You have every bubble light up thing you can think of. The little spinner things where you squeeze Buzz's feet and it spins around and glows. Literally every bubble thing you can think of, you have. That was probably my favorite thing because sometimes they weren't put together and you get to sit there and put it together and you talk to them. I don't know, it was really fun for me. And the costumes were really cute. Like I loved I don't know, I just loved the vibe and the happiness that Hollywood Studios had, because I feel like people there just love their jobs. Like, they love it. Hollywood Studios is growing so much and people just absolutely love it there. So yeah, this is the costume for Hollywood Studios. The first time I ever picked up a shift, I picked it up at Hollywood Studios. It was at on Sunset Boulevard, and it was a little pin cart. So at this cart, we only sold pins. So being in the first place I picked up, going from pin traders at Epcot to pin traders at Hollywood Studios, it was really, really easy for me to adjust to that. Also, when you're picking up shifts, people are so friendly there. Like, if you don't know where you're going and you have questions, do not be afraid to ask someone, because they will happily help you. Also, go really early. I always went at least an hour early. Even if you're standing around in the back waiting to clock in, it's better than running around being late and getting points, which is not good. So yeah, so I picked up at Sunset Boulevard in the carts, and this was my costume. It was really cute. It was really comfortable, but at the time it was also cold. Don't always listen to people. Florida does get cold. You had to get coats. I actually had to leave mid-shift and get a coat because I didn't think it would be that cold. That was one of my favorite shifts because the sunset was so pretty, and I wish I had a picture of it. It's just wonderful. Alrighty, so another park that I worked at was Magic Kingdom. I picked up a shift there through my roommate Meg, who did Glow there. She also did Pirates, which is in my work friends video, which I'll link up here. Basically, it was another Glow shift. We sell basically the same Glow at all the parks, so it was kind of easy. She helped me with directions and everything to get there. Again, it's always good to go really early when you're picking up a shift at a different park so that you're unfamiliar with, so I did go early. This is our costume. It was shorts. They're like baseball shorts, and then you have your top, and then I wore my black sneakers for every shift, which you can see in my haul video, which I will link up here. You just go out with your cart, like I said, for 3 to 4 hours selling your Glow. This shift was one of my favorites because I got to see the Move It Shake It parade. I got to see the fireworks. So Happily Ever After, and then they did another little show, and I'm laughing because people came up and asked me, this is so wrong. People came up and asked me and said, is there another show at 9? Like, are they doing something else? And I was like, no. I was like, Happily Ever After is it. Like, what are you talking about? And then I moved my cart over and another show came on, the castle, and I was like, well, I messed up. So yeah, it's fine. You make mistakes. It's okay. With these Glow shifts, you do get to make a lot of magical moments. That's what I love about them. I love making magical moments. They're something I remember for a very long time, especially if they're meaningful. You only want to do them if they're really meaningful and you'll remember them. I also picked up another shift at Magic Kingdom. It was this shift. It was a Main Street East shift. So basically this shift, you work Main Street East. So from like where you meet Mickey on Main Street all the way down to before Starbucks. That whole like strip area, the confectionery, all that. So I did, when you come out of meeting Mickey, that little gift shop, which was really cute. It had a ton of stuffed animals, which I loved, and everyone who came out for Mickey was so happy. So I really got to talk to all of them and ask them how Mickey was. Also, they came out for meeting Tinkerbell as well, so the little girls are all happy and so cute. So that was really special for me. Then the second half of my shift, I worked where the purses, like really fancy purse, you know what I'm talking about? Disney fans know what I'm talking about. Those like really fancy purses and the Pandora jewelry. I worked there, which it was kind of stressful because I'm not familiar with all the security on them, like all this stuff. Like, people who go there are intense and know what they want. It was a really good shift. That shift especially, I met a lot of people. I met a lot of workers who were so kind and so nice, and I met a lot of guests that were very friendly. Yeah, these two shifts are my absolute favorite shifts besides studios. Love studios. It's a little stressful. It's more a pace, which I love. I love going fast, doing things, like talking to people. The stories, it's more magical there, you can tell. And the workers are really into it as well. They're not very laid back. They're always on their feet. They're always doing the most for the guests, which is really important. Now, I'm going to talk about a place I worked that most people would not work. And that is World of Disney. I decided that I needed to do it because I wanted to say that I worked at World of Disney. And I did. And now I'm going to tell you my experience about it. So this shift, I worked register. The only thing I did not like about register is you're sharing the counter space that you have with the register person next to you. The shift went really, really fast. People there are so nice. Of course, I worked a lot at Epcot. Obviously, I worked all the front stores because I was parked. I worked, so when you enter the countries, there's two large sister towers, they call them. Yeah, because they're exactly the same. And you wear this costume, and I literally did this because I wanted to wear this costume so bad. It is the flag shirt with the white pants, and I wore my black shoes. This shift was fun. It was okay. I didn't really connect with the workers. We're just so busy. Like I said before, in merch, you want to walk around and talk to people. This was a shift I did where I was behind the register almost the whole time. Most people were, you know, cold because it was really cold at this time. I think it was like February. It was really cold, and they wanted coats, and we had coats, and they wanted blankets so they could sit outside and watch the fireworks. I did get to see the fireworks a very little bit. The store that I had to go work in, and I was not happy about this at all, was the Figment store. And here's me with Figment. Yeah, so I had to work with Figment, and basically it's at the end of the ride. When you come off the ride, there is Joy, there's Wreck-It Ralph, and Vanellope, and then you keep walking, and there's this little store. It was a 6-hour shift, and I swear it was the slowest thing of my life. There's this thing called the Sleeping Figment, and if I find a picture, I'll put it here. It is basically a stuffed animal that looks like they're sleeping, and they sleep like this. I held the Figment, and I was like, oh, Figment's so tired from his ride. Do you want to pet him? And he looked so real. I would get down on my knees, and the kids would pet the Figment, and they're like, oh, it's so soft. You know, we called it merchantaining. You take the merch, and you entertain with it. I'll talk about that in my merch video. The last and final place I worked at, which I love, Mouse Gear. I would work in Mouse Gear again. People know Mouse Gear is this big store in Epcot, but because of construction, it actually became a little smaller, actually very smaller. The time I worked there, I did register the whole time, and it was, I believe, yeah, it was like the first weekend of the festival, so we were like packed. So yeah, that was really fun, and obviously at the end of the shift we stocked. I worked there a second time. The shift said runner, and I also had no idea that this was like an 8-hour shift. I loved it. Like, I mean, it wasn't my absolute favorite. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would do it again, because it was just me. Like, I pick up, package, pick up, clean up, hangers. When I took my break, I took 2 breaks because it was a longer shift. So when I came back from my break, I had more stuff to do because no one filled my position. So it was like coming back and being like, oh, I gotta do this, this, and this. So I had more stuff to do. I'm sorry this video is really kind of fast paced, but I wanted to get as much information as I could to you guys about all different locations. And like I said 100 times, I do want to make a video about merchandise so I could explain really what it's about, because people think it's just selling things, but it's so much more. It's so much about interacting with people and getting to know everyone. I do link videos up here all the time if you want to get more information about something. Also, another thing, I do link my Pura Vida code down there. It is about 20% off if you want to do your quarantine shopping. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know I went really fast. Again, a lot of information. There's a lot. To find out more or have questions about something, you can leave a comment right down there and I will get back to you. I hope you all are doing okay in quarantine, and I will see you all in a week or so.